Hey, welcome back to Hesitant Lion. I'm George, that's the lion, and this video was supposed to be out in January.
Nearly 150,000 homes and businesses are without power in Austin this morning.
Thousands of Central Texans woke up without power this morning, and that is the reason why ice has accumulated.
So the current situation is we have approximately 150,000 customers still out without power.
I don't know how many of you have been paying attention to Texas weather news, but it's been bad. There's been hard freezes and ice problems and power outages, and I myself was out of power for like 5 days. Also, if you've been watching my other videos, then you know that Willow has been having some troubles. She's been having really intense bloody noses and coughing fits since like last August. And about a month ago we found out it's probable she's got all kinds of tumors in her nose and she probably has doggy cancer and less than a year to live. Also, on top of that, my mother has been getting cataract surgery. Now this is technically a good thing, like her vision's getting fixed, but it's really far away, it's really early in the morning, and she's been recuperating a lot. Obviously having your eyeball cut open hurts. All of this is to say, sorry about the delays. 2023 has not been a good year so far for me.
So far, 2023 has been just awful. I just want to kill myself.
Oh. Anyway, there's this awesome poet on Twitter you should know about. Not enough people are talking about words bubble up like soda pop, to be honest. I wholeheartedly agree with that statement. I am still in 100% agreement with that. Not enough people are talking about words bubble up like soda pop. Don't be creative. Don't do it. That one's a bit harsh, I admit. Me and creativity have had kind of a rough relationship over the 30 years I've been alive, but that doesn't mean other people can't be creative and doesn't mean they shouldn't be creative. When I was researching and looking around on Twitter for reviews and thoughts on words bubble up like soda pop before I made that original video, I found this amazing Twitter user. Inspired by the character in the movie, this person has decided to write a new haiku every day for a whole year. Every day! I'm recording this in late February, and I'm pretty sure this person has missed once so far. Let me ask you something, the last time you set yourself a goal, did you screw up on that goal exactly one time, or did you give up and forget about it because who gives a crap, life's too hard, I'm gonna watch anime and get stoned? Obviously there's lots of people who would never do the second one, but I bet for most of you, accomplishing goals is incredibly difficult and usually not worth the effort. So every day for months now, this person has written a new haiku and shared it with us. Problem is, they've only got 17 followers on Twitter. That's not enough. This isn't just like a challenge and we should respect it.
Challenge accepted. Self-fight.
The actual poems this person writes are really, really good. A seed is planted. Will it blossom or wither? Only time will tell. Comfortable life. This phrase used to mean safety. Now it's my enemy. Anybody who's ever lived in a big city will appreciate this one.
Big city of perverts and assholes.
Cluttered neon street. Fell right into the mousetrap. Deductions were sound. And some of them are just nonsensical imagery that just resonates with me for some reason. Platypus-shaped cloud. Confetti chomping squirrel. Beanbag cat cuddles. These are all just lovely little poems and I think more people should read them. Hence the video. If you're unfamiliar with Twitter, good for you. But if you're unfamiliar with Twitter, there's like a bunch of different communities and different circles that you can interact with. So there's anime Twitter, and there's film Twitter, and there's sports Twitter, and whatever. There's also writing Twitter and poetry Twitter. So I've done my best on Twitter to kind of like hashtag follow this words bubble up account and hashtag writers lift, but honestly, writers Twitter is real hit or miss. Writing Twitter is just like any other large group of people. There's a bunch of people in it who suck. Also, it's inherently kind of self-promotion. Like, the idea of writing Twitter is you're supposed to be like, I'm a writer, are you a writer? Let's be friends, isn't writing hard? Look, I wrote 6 words today. Everybody congratulate me, good for you, you wrote 6 words. More often than not though, it's like, hey, I wrote a crappy book, it's 100 pages, I put it on Amazon and self-published it, buy it, buy it, hey, buy it. If you buy my book, I'll buy your book, can you reshare and retweet? I wanna buy a thing that... So yeah, writing Twitter can be a little bit toxic and gross. Unlike YouTube, like, share, and subscribe.
So remember to like, subscribe, and be sure to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Phonogram, Twitter, Tumblr, Tinder, Grindr, Facebook, Twitter, Vagina People.
Now that's not to say there aren't good people on writing Twitter. Here's just 3 that I really like. In particular, shout out to Nicole. Nicole was excellent. We've read each other's works. We've shared novels and screenplays back and forth. A novel she wrote about fairies who like to stab each other and fight wolves and shit is like one of the most badass things I've ever read. I want to turn her book into a movie so bad, but that's a whole other video. Let's get back to words bubble up like soda pop and haiku. Pink sunrise contrails, French toast and flower arcades, clouds of ghost towers. Soaking in the sun, the concrete beneath glitters at the train station. So, who is this awesome person on Twitter that's writing all these amazing haikus? Well, I don't really know. I don't know if this is a man, a woman, a teenager, an adult. I have no idea. I just really, really like their poetry and I want more people to read it. It's free on the internet. Please go check it out. Now, it's not like I know nothing about this person. I did reach out and ask if I could share their work and ask if I could make a video about them. And the story behind how this project got started is really interesting. Obviously, the author is a fan of the movie Words Bubble Up Like Soda Pop, as so should you be. It's heartwarming, it's funny, it's romantic, it's sad, it's heartbreaking. It's kind of wonderful. But also, you know those like little libraries you see in neighborhoods sometimes where it's just like a box with books in it? Well, apparently there was something like this in a tube station where this person lives, and they found a book that was handwritten. This book had these gold, shimmery pages, which really drew the attention, and apparently it was a book written 1 line a day. Like a time capsule thing where somebody writes 1 line a day in the book, and then for whatever reason abandoned it at a subway station? So, in loving that movie and finding the journal where you write 1 line a day, this person decided to go ahead and write some haiku. They also admit they're super addicted to Twitter, which, been there. As for the content of these haikus, the ideas for them come from everywhere. Whether it's a reference to something personal that happened in this person's life that day, or just an emotion they were feeling, or whatever, just the idea of seeing art, seeing poetry in the world around you, I think is a good one. Normally I would never share the DMs of someone that I've had a conversation with in private on Twitter. But in this case, I'm gonna show a highly cropped, just like 1 line thing, just to give you a sense for who this person is and let them speak for themselves briefly in this video of mine. I'd like to look back on it in a year's time and hopefully see my year in poetry. I'd highly recommend others try this project out too, because even if my poems turn out mediocre, it's a lot of fun, and it's a great way to be creative, even if you don't have a lot of time for yourself when life gets busy and stressful. So there you have it. There's a really cool person on Twitter with no ego who just wants to create art and throw it out into the internet, and I found it and liked it, and I want to share it with you folks. Like I said, all this amazing work and talent and positivity only has 17 followers, so please consider going to follow Twitter. So if you're a Twitter person, consider going to check out this account and maybe following them if you like their stuff. They are at words_bubble_up. And of course, I'll put a link in the description below. That's really all I have to say other than more raving about how much I like their poems, so I guess let's read some of my favorite poems. Red paper lanterns, sweet aromas fill Chinatown, leading the way home. Quarter life crisis, burnt out before it's begun. Anxious for the next stages. Anxious butterflies become social butterflies. Extroverted out. This one might be my actual favorite. Back to drawing boards. Dare to dream differently. Let go of old flames. There are dozens and dozens of great haikus on that page, with a new one every day, so please consider checking them out, if only to give them a read, maybe to give them a follow. Thanks for watching my video. I'll see you next time with another one. This one will be about an actual anime, not tangentially anime related. Thanks for watching my video, and please consider sticking around for a very special update on the Willow Pup. It's good news! So like I said, back in August, Willow started having these crazy nosebleeds and coughing fits that would go on for like minutes at a time. And after living in Colorado for so many years, we all just kind of assumed that she'd gotten allergic to Texas, which is a thing. There's so much like pollen and plants and trees and cedar and all kinds of stuff. It's really not uncommon that some people just can't live in this part of Texas without severe antihistamines. So after multiple trips to the vet, eventually they said, I don't know, she doesn't seem to have an infection or a cold. Maybe we should get her a CT scan, which cost like $2 grand. The CT scan showed that her nose is just full of tumors, and there's been like erosion into the brain. Like the scan showed that there were tumors kind of like eating up into the bone inside of her nasal cavity, and that she was pretty well doomed, you know? So we were trying to figure out what kind of treatment we should get, but it was also unclear from the CT scan exactly what kind of tumors, what kind of cancer, so we weren't sure what the best treatment was, or if we should just kind of let her enjoy her last days. Willow, your head is hiding. It looks like there was some uncertainty about exactly what was wrong with her, so we got a biopsy. The biopsy was done by a specialist, not the same vet who did the CT scan and originally diagnosed her with all those tumors. This vet who did the biopsy also put a scope up her nose, and both the biopsy and the scope confirmed no signs of cancer at all. Like, she said that that nasal passage looked like a completely clean young dog's nasal passage. Like, there was no sign of any damage at all. And then the biopsy revealed there were no markers for cancer, so it's good news. It's great news. My dog is gonna be okay. Willow Pup is gonna be good. But boy, it was confusing and scary and expensive over those months. CT scans and vet visits, and oh boy, she was on lots of different antibiotics. The most recent thing, we put her on steroids, which helped bring the inflammation down in her nose, hopefully to make the nosebleed stop, which they did. So the theory is maybe she had some kind of fucked up tissue in her nose. I don't know. Anyway, the point is she's okay for now. So, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time. You want to say goodbye to the folks, Willow? Good dog. See you, kids. Thanks for watching Hesitant Lion.